Dr. Anjali.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Abhishek.
And thank you, Dr. Anjani, for seeing you after a long time. Where you were?
Yeah.
I didn't saw you for the long time.
Yeah.
I heard that you are not in
after 2
India.
months. Yeah.
You are not in India. You have traveled abroad.
Yeah, I was in Dubai, now in India.
So you came back. So welcome back to India. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Sayani sir. Anyway, you noticed that I'm not here. That's also a great thing for honor for me, because thank you, sir. Thank you, Hindi team. Now we are moving to English session. Today is our 1822nd day of continuous webinar. Thank you all for making IFPH as a success. Today's our guest is Dr. Manish. I don't know, everyone know him very well. No need of any introduction. He is a smart leader and dynamic personality, and very good interpersonal skills. And he is a IFPH member, host, and he's leading many programs. Really a smart person. Thank you, Dr. Ram Parvesh, sir. And Dr. Manish is he's assistant professor, and he's a physician. He's a good teacher. He's published. He published many articles. He done thesis on PCO tinea corporis, and done research on knowledge and attitude of behavior survey, and many things. He's a good teacher, medical blog writer. I think everyone know him very well. Anyway, I'm inviting Dr. Manish to today's English session. We all are eager to hear from you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, and welcome back to India again. I firstly wanted to thank the IFPH platform to inviting me again in an English session. And the session for today's, the topic for today's session is about a smartphone. So firstly, I'll share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So for today, I have brought the topic of smartphone addiction, as we are sitting in 21st century right now in 2025. And obviously, smartphone is a basic need of each and everyone. And each and every one amongst us have a smartphone. So obviously, with drawbacks, so I'm here to discuss the very same. Smartphone addiction, anxiety, sleeplessness, and what is the solution with homeopathy and lifestyle change. It's a comprehensive research-based presentation addressing the silent epidemic affecting our patients and why we need to address this urgently. So firstly, let's start with the data. Let's start with the statistics. The statistics is as per follows. 71% of smartphone users sleep with their devices next to them, disrupting the natural sleep patterns. So amongst 100% of people, 71% of people sleep with their smartphones, and that's why their natural sleep pattern are disrupted. 47% experience panic when their phone battery is low. So anxiety and panic is very common when you are in a marketplace or when you are in a public place and your battery is running low. Obviously, it is that because at today's time, each and every contact is in phone. No one remembers anyone's number. Each and every paying method is also in phone. So no one carries cash at this time. So obviously, when the phone battery runs low, you will get anxious, you will get panic that, oh my God, what is happening and what I'll do. Obviously, how to pay to Uber or how to pay to Ola or how to return to home. So that becomes the second most problem. Then there's 26% of car accidents involve cell phones at any part. So directly or indirectly, 26% of car accidents taking place in India, your smartphones are involved there. 68% of young adults with smartphone addictions suffer from poor sleep quality. So again, we are talking about sleep. That 68% of young adults are suffering from poor sleep quality due to smartphone addiction. So obviously, when we are talking about percentages, only there are few which are below 50, more are above 50, 71%, 68%. See on screen. So the topic which we are discussing today is something from which a majority of us are suffering, obviously. In India, the situation is particularly concerning. 64%, 64.6% prevalence of smartphone addiction among adolescents aged 15 to 19 years in Gujarat. So Gujarat done a research study in which we found that the adolescents who aged between 15 to 19 years, 64.6% prevalence is there of a smartphone addiction. So that is a bigger number and that is a problem. 39 to 44% addiction magnitude across Indian adolescent population based on systematic reviews. So if we trust these systematic reviews, then 39 to 44% is addiction magnitude across Indian adolescent. So if we come back from Gujarat, then all over India, it is 39 to 44%. 20 urban residents increases risk by 2.4 times compared to the rural area. So obviously, if we compare rural with urban, then the percentages changes and it is about 2.4 times if we talk about urban area than the rural area. The last stat for today is 24.6% to 44% prevalence among Indian adults varies by region. So obviously, if we talk about the stats, then we had discussed a large number, a humongous number across India. So this presentation or the topic which we are studying today, it is important. If we talk about the hidden health crisis, then 2.2 times higher childhood of sleep problems in technology addicted individuals. So if we talk about technology addicted individuals, then there is 2.2 times higher likelihood of sleep problems. So the children who are more driven towards phones, who are more driven towards games, who are more into BGMI or Contra, the game which have been recently, more sleep problems in comparison to the normal people who are not that much addicted towards phone. Obviously, when we talk about things like these, it is very common these days to sleep after 3 a.m. or after 2 a.m. or after 1 a.m. And people are used to have things like brunches, obviously, because they sleep late, they wake up late, and the whole disruption of circadian rhythm is there. Okay, so now we have to discuss this, why this matters. Patient presentation changes, obviously. We have seen that increasing anxiety disorder in young patients, rising complaints of insomnia and sleep disturbances, attention deficit symptoms in children and adolescents have been on rise. We all have seen that people, that children of attention hyperactive disorder, ADHD, obviously, and autism spectrum disorders have been increasing these days. Unexplained headaches and eye strains have been very common these days. And then social withdrawal and behavioral changes can be seen and noticed. If we open our Instagram these days, and obviously we have seen that people seriously, they scroll and you can see that people hitting other people are very common. It has been very common. Then people doing various kinds of stuff against someone and trying to harm them. And it has been very common these days. So obviously we can see that behavioral changes are at peak at this time. What is the underlying connection towards a smartphone? Smartphone addiction is not just a behavioral issue. It is a complex neurobiological condition which is affecting the dopamine regulation system, obviously. Why? Because dopamine is what? It is a happy hormone. Whenever you get, let's understand that each and every person among us who is sitting here is on Facebook or must be on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter or WhatsApp, basically. Okay. So now when someone comments on your photo that, oh my God, you are looking so good, or oh my God, you are so handsome, or you are looking fine, or you are looking great, then obviously that gives you a dopamine surge that, that someone is praising me, obviously, and that is a normal phenomenon. If you get a better like, that someone amongst us would be getting 1,000 to 2,000 likes and someone would be getting 100 or 200. For someone, 200 would be good, for someone, 1,000 would be good. But now imagine, if someone whose normal is on 1,000 and now he is getting 100, then the dopamine clashes there. That now he's not getting that surge on 1,000 or 100. Now he's having problems with that. So the dopamine regulation system is affecting. Second is circadian rhythm disruption. Obviously, circadian rhythm is disrupted because while watching these Instagram reels or while watching these OTT platform phones, you are awake till 1 p.m. or till 2 p.m. or till 3 a.m. And now you are not sleeping on time. obviously you will awake late in the morning, and that will affect your body both physiologically and will cause pathological problems. Then there is stress hormone imbalances. And the last is neuroplasticity change. Now we'll discuss all of these one by one. The first is dopamine dysregulation. The constant notifications create dopamine spikes. This is very similar to substance addiction and requiring more stimulation for satisfaction. So obviously, when we'll talk about this, let's imagine a situation when you are posting a reel and you want the reach to go beyond 30K, 40K, or let's imagine 1 million. Okay. So if your normal is sitting at 1 million, then obviously if you will get 50K or 65K, then it would not be normal to you. Okay. So that is the problem. The dopamine dysregulation is obviously there. When people started praising you, then obviously that will affect the kind of surge you want. Let's imagine if you get 150 likes, then it's fine. If it is 75, then obviously, oh my God, people do not love me. Oh my God, people have started hating me. You think kind of that stuff. Let's imagine this. After marriage, someone gains weight and they have posted a photo of their marriage, and the Instagram comment has been filled with comments like these that, oh my God, have you gained weight? You are looking so obese. You have become so fat. And now the dopamine dysregulation is there. The cortisol will spike because obviously you are thinking that I have become fat. The topic of posting that photo on Instagram was that I want to celebrate that marriage. But now what has happened after those comments? You have been going into body dysmorphia that, oh my God, have I been looking bad? Oh my God, should I lose some weight? And now you'll try doing some stuff. You will try becoming anxious about that. And that is how dopamine dysregulation takes place with the help of addiction of a smartphone. So we have to understand this. The first problem is there. The second is sleep architecture disruption. Now we are talking about something technical. The blue light exposure obviously suppresses the melatonin production, and blue light is very common these days when we use our phone. So my first suggestion to all of you is that after 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., there is a blue light filter in each and everyone's phone. If you will scroll, if you will open the pop-up from the above, it is reading mode on. On the reading mode or on the blue light filter, that the blue light exposure gets up, do not get towards your melatonin. Okay. So the blue light exposure suppresses the melatonin production. And obviously, if the melatonin do not get produced at that much rate, then it deteriorates your sleep quality, because melatonin is a hormone which only get produced in sleep, and it is very important for dopamine secretion and for the normal cortisol level, for the normal psychology of human body. So obviously that gets affected. Then there is a stress response system. The chronic activation of sympathetic nervous system with elevated cortisol level. Obviously, the sympathetic nervous systems are constantly activated, are constantly poked, and the cortisol levels are elevated. Obviously, because if you are getting such negative feedbacks, let's again take the example of that marriage. The female is thinking or the male is thinking that I have gained so much weight and is going into body dysmorphia, then obviously elevated cortisol level would be there and that would be affecting you. So these neurobiological changes manifest as anxiety when separated from devices, and with physical symptoms, including palpitation, sweating, and restlessness can be seen. Constant notifications create dopamine spikes similar to substance addictions, and the brain develops tolerance requiring more stimulation for satisfaction. So what we was discussing is, if you are getting 100 likes and 100 is normal, then 75 won't give you that. So the brain develops a tolerance and requiring more stimulation for satisfaction. The natural reward systems become impaired. So now your dopamine is not normally giving a hug to your wife or giving a hug to your children. It would be like, I should get 150 likes, or I should get 200 likes, more than 50 comments, more than 50 shares on my Instagram post, and that will affect your dopamine surge. This manifests as anxiety when separated from the device. The blue light exposure suppresses melatonin production, as we have already discussed. 71% sleep with phone nearby causes micro awakening. So in 71% of the cases, if you sleep with your phone, it will cause micro awakening, and obviously that will disrupt your normal sleep pattern. REM sleep quality deteriorates, and sleep onset latency increases significantly. So the onset latency of sleep that increases. So that is why there are many people which are these days saying that I go to sleep at till 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. But while sleeping, it takes half an hour. It takes 45 minutes for me. So that is late sleeping. And what causes that late sleeping is sleeping with your phone. Okay. Then there is cognitive load theory. Continuous partial attention syndrome, obviously, because there is a continuous partial attention. You are talking to someone else also, and you are seeing your phone also. You are watching some movie also, and you are looking towards your phone notifications also. So there is a cognitive load theory. Obviously, there is at all times there is partial attention. At most of the times in our clinics, when we are counseling some couple, females say that husband do not put 100% attention towards me, and they are constantly watching towards their phone. The husband says that at all times I'm at my office busy with my work, so obviously when I reach home, the only time is there when I see my phone. Now the problem do not lies there. The problem is we are somewhat getting treated or getting habituated to lead with partial attention only. That at half times we are looking towards our phone and concentrated toward the conversation also, which is going ahead around us. Okay, so the problem is there, and obviously that will cause a load on our cognition. The working memory gets overloaded, the attention span get reduces, and obviously the executive function gets impaired. So that is why there was a time when people used to play test matches. Then comes the example, the days of one day when 50-50 came there, and then came a time when 20-20 comes there. And now people do not even want to watch 20-20 live for the whole day. Obviously, because the duration of attention is getting smaller and smaller. For there was a time when our grandfather or the great grandfather used to sit calmly and talking for 45 minutes or 1 hour or 3 hours is very normal. And for our generation, it is like, oh my God, I had to talk for 1 hour. Or after sometimes or in once in a blue moon, we talk for 45 minutes with some random friend and we say that, oh my God, we talked about 45 minutes today. But that was normal for some people, but not normal for us. The same thing for Instagram. Now, Instagram videos, the reels of 10 seconds or 15 seconds or 20 seconds only go viral. The one with 2 minutes or 3 minutes content, people don't watch that. Why? Because the attention span they don't have for you. They want the adrenaline rush just at the moment when they start watching your video. So the attention span has been decreased. We are getting habituated towards half attention towards one thing and half attention towards other, and the other half towards our phone also. So that is the problem. Now let's understand this towards homeopathy. What homeopathy says about it. So when we talk about homeopathy understanding, the first understanding comes of the miasm. That there is sora, obviously, there is psychosis, obviously, and there is syphilis, obviously. When we talk about soric manifestations, if these kinds of habituations are giving just physiological symptoms like anxiety or restlessness or sleep disturbances, but are not causing any kind of pathological symptom, then that would be considered under soric manifestation. If it converts into some kinds of compulsive behavior or repetitive actions, then that would go into psychotic tendencies. And if this goes under destructive patterns or social isolation or a complete withdrawal, then obviously that would be a syphilitic element. What would be the impact on constitutions? Being a homeopath, we constantly discuss about constitution. So let's delve into that also. The first would be the nervous system hypersensitivity. Or talking about cognition overload, then we were discussing about topics like the nervous system would get hypersensitivity. The hypersensitivity of nervous system would take place because half of your attention is someone else and half of other attention is towards something else. Section going towards in your mind, and you are setting priority. You are giving that okay, there are, let's talk about this. There are some WhatsApp group in which 150 or 200 or 250 messages appear in a day, and you don't go through that WhatsApp group daily. But there are some messages which you scroll towards daily. As in, let's see that if Manish is messaging someone, then they are responding to that message. But if there is some message on some group which is filled with messages like good morning, have a good day, and things like that, then no one opens that group. obviously you have made priorities in your mind that this group is important or this message is important and this is not. You take some calls and you avoid some. You take some messages or you read some messages and you avoid some. So your mind has started or has been trained to start some settings that this is important and this is not. So you have deviated your concentrations. So that is why your nervous system is getting hypersensitivity. Your vital force is getting depleted, obviously, because you are constantly burning your energy towards something which is not made for your eyes. Mental emotional imbalances is there, and then physical manifestation of that digital toxicity is there. How to identify that smartphone addiction in practice? How can we identify this smartphone addiction if we are in our practice or if we are sitting in our clinic? The first is physical manifestation. The physical manifestation is a bit easy. Frequent headaches are very common these days. People are getting migraine in which they complain of frontal headaches specifically, and then temporal headaches are there. Okay, then eye strain, dry eyes, vision problem. These are very common these days. Neck and shoulder tension. We talk about tech neck. Cervical pains are very common in 21st century. Even a girl or a boy of 18 or 20 or 21 complains that I have cervical pain. And through that family, I don't know, or environment have taught this, that cervical pain is very common. People say that, oh my God, cervical is too common. These days, each and everyone is having cervical. So when we talk about people who have desk job or who have constantly sitting job, then tech neck is the term. Tech neck is for the people who have neck and shoulder tension constantly. They have a sitting job, they sit constantly on that table or on that chair, and they have that neck and shoulder stiffness. That is termed as tech neck. So tech neck is a physical manifestation of a smartphone addiction or a screen addiction. Sleep disturbances and insomnia is very common these days. Each and every people which come to us says that late sleep is common. They complain that I go to sleep at 9 p.m. and while sleeping, it take half hour, it take 45 minutes, or it take 1 hour for me to sleep. So sleep disturbances are common these days. Insomnia is obviously there. Then there are mental and emotional signs. Mental and emotional sign, as we first discussed, that there is anxiety when the phone battery is low. The compulsive checking behaviors, that people are getting kinds of hallucination that if someone else's phone is ringing, you check your phone first that, oh my God, it's not mine. Okay. If someone else notification has came, you check firstly your phone. Okay, mera message to nahi aaya. So this kind of thing happens. You obviously constantly check your phones. You constantly check your phone that the notification is not mine. Okay, how much likes to my Facebook post or how much like to my Instagram post. Things like that takes place. Then there is fear of missing out. Obviously, there is FOMO. There are things like people constantly check. There is a group. Let's take an example. If your mother says at your home that go and fetch milk from someone else's place, and you think that no, there is a friends group which has been recently made, and they are talking about some stuff which is going on in the school, I'll miss that. I don't want to go. And he started shouting and yelling at family, and lastly family says that okay, don't yell, you go and do whatever you want to do. So what is that? That is fear of missing out. You don't want to miss that conversation going on in that group, in that certain friends group, and you don't want to go anywhere. Now, what you want to do, you just want to sit like this. And what your parents will think that, oh my God, he's just stick to a 6 inches screen and he don't want to do work. Difficulty concentrating on non-digital tasks. We were discussing about that only, that there is a non-digital task that go and fetch milk there or go give some sugar to that neighbor. And you are like yelling at top of your notch and voices that, no, I don't want to go somewhere else. So that is a problem. That is difficulty concentrating on non-digital tasks. Then there are behavioral indicators. Behavioral indicators is that using phone immediately upon waking. It is a very common phenomena these days that people wake up with their phone, people go to stool with their phone. They don't even want to leave their phone for even a second. It is like keeping your phone just beside your bed. And when you wake up at 6, opening your eyes, if we talk about Hinduism, it has been said that you have to see your hands first, or you have to touch the feet of the ground, or you have to remember your God. But no, you will see your screen first that, oh my God, my Instagram is booming. Oh my God, my Instagram has got insights and it has been reaching 100K or 200K or 1 million. So the using phone immediately just upon waking is one of a behavioral indicator of the phone addiction. Then checking phone during meals or conversations. Obviously, there should be a time which should be decided in a family, which when you should not use your phone. It should be like a personal dinner time or a personal family time, obviously, because there are times when you should not check your phone. But in today's time, people do not want to leave their phones. They are constantly checking phone during meals or during conversations, and that is also behavioral indicator. Then there is a phantom vibration syndrome. Obviously, we were discussing about that someone else's notification appears and you check your phone. Someone else's phones rings and you check your phone. So that is a phantom vibration syndrome. Then there is declining academic or work performance. Since your mind or your brain is constantly activated towards what is going on and what are the priorities, which message should I see, which message should I not see, where should I respond, where should I not respond. So obviously your academic or your work performance will get affected from that. If we talk about the data, the normal phone checking is 96 times per day. So as per statistics or as per researches, if you check your phone 96 times per day or less than that, then that is normal. But if you check your phone 150 times per day or more than that, then that shows that you have addiction towards smartphones. So we can see and we can check that whether we are addicted towards it or not. Now let's delve into the medicines. What are the medicines there? When we see some people or when we watch through some people that they are addicted towards smartphones. Firstly, the homeopathic remedies for anxiety or restlessness. If you have some symptoms of anxiety or restlessness related to smartphones, the first medicine, obviously when the word anxiety comes in mind, the first medicine comes in mind is arsenic amalgam. The indications could be anxiety about health, restlessness at night, compulsive behaviors, and things like that, which is obviously there in arsenic amalgam. The most important thing is a smartphone connection. A smartphone connection is what? Constant health-related searches, anxiety when phone unavailable. So people who are of arsenic amalgam, they constantly search their phone and they search these kinds of things, that what kind of meal should I eat for my piles symptoms? What kind of meal should I eat for this? And they kind of search each and every time for different kinds of stuff. So if you'll see their search history, if a person is perfectly arsenic amalgam, and if you'll see their search history, then obviously there would be different kinds of searches for what should I eat, what should I not eat, when should I wake up, when should I not wake up, which supplement is good for me, what should I do with my friend, I have this condition. After ChatGPT's invention, people do ask these kinds of stuff. I have a friend, I have fight with him, what should I do? And ChatGPT responses that go and talk with them, and they think, okay, I should go and talk to him. So these kinds of stuff are happening, and that is a smartphone connection. Supporting system. Perfectionism about digital organization and midnight restlessness are some symptoms which can be seen in arsenic. Then the next would be argentum nitricum. In argentum nitricum, the indications would be anticipatory anxiety, the first, because obviously argentum nitricum has problems like anticipation. It anticipates and the problem appears that if my exam don't go well, then what will I do? If he shouts at me, what will I do? So the anticipation causes most of the problems in argentum nitricum. And the hurriedness and the impulse control issues are there. If we'll talk about hurriedness, you will see that a person whose legs are too thin and stout, and he'd be like a stoop shoulder towards in front, and he'll walk very fastly. You will see if a argentum nitricum is physically argentum, then you will see this kind of behavior, that the legs are too thin and walking too fastly with a stoop shoulder dealt towards forward and moving too fast. The smartphone connection would be anxiety about missing messages, impulsive social media checking, and if he missed some messages, then there would be some anxiety about it, that why he would have messaged, why he would have called. So there would be things like that. The characteristic would be time distortion and always feeling rushed. As we already know that argentum nitricum times passes too slowly. So obviously there would be time distortion, and there would always be a feeling that always feeling rushed. Then we talk about coffea cruda. There is mental hyperexcitability. The things which we were talking about right now is anxiety. And now when we talk about coffea cruda, then there is hyperexcitability. There is ailments from even being happy. People who are being too happy suddenly gets pain. People who are being too happy are suddenly getting fainted. And then coffea cruda should be there. If you are seeing a person who is hyper excited and complaints are coming from that hyper excitement, then you should think of coffea once. Insomnia from mental activity. Then if we talk about the smartphone connection, then overstimulation from digital content and racing thoughts are there. So from digital content, feeling too anxious or feeling too angry, the overstimulation is usually in people like coffee. Let's take an example. If someone says that there has been some fight in some random area in Delhi, and if a person lives in Delhi, then he would see that message and he will think that, oh my God, a fight has been taken place. Should I call police? Should I help someone? Should I do this? Should I do that? And he'll not see the date that the reel is 1 year older or 6 months older. He'll get hyper excited that should I do this? Should I do that? Oh my God, a fight is taking place. Should I go back to my native village? So this is kind of hyper excitability that coffee cruda in a situation does. The sleep is awakened by slighted sound or notification alerts. Obviously, it is a coffee medicine. So a slight change in its temperature or in its smell or in its vision or a sound can cause awakening in sleep. So even a slightest, what we can say, stimulation is enough for coffee cruda to react. If we talk about medicines for homeopathic remedies for sleep disturbances, whenever we talk about smartphone addiction or digital toxicity, the prime remedy should be their Nux vomica. Nux vomica is the medicine which is the prime remedy for digital detox support. If you have a screen addiction, if you have workaholism, if you have digital overindulgence or addiction behavior, Nux vomica is there. The indications would be very simple: irritability, digestive issues, early morning insomnia. And if we talk about these remedies, we have read Ellen's keynote very well, and there are symptoms which constitutionally matches to each and everyone in today's society. In 2025, if we are taking a survey, many people, I believe 60% of people working in corporate industries will match Nux vomica behavior, because there is competition, there is workaholism, there is type A personality. If you talk about IBS personality, then there is type A personality, which are people who are competitive, easily frustrated when technology fails, and they are alcohol dependent or stimulant dependent, coffee dependent to wake up. The shifts are like graveyard shift, come here at 2 a.m., go home at 9 a.m. So obviously the sleep is disturbed, the discipline of the whole your living way of life is disturbed, no stool time, no discipline time. So obviously Nux vomica is there. If we talk about these kinds of living behavior, which is very prominent in 2025, Nux vomica is there. The second medicine can be Passiflora incarnata. Passiflora is a remedy very famous by Blackwood, very oftenly used by Blackwood and Boric like people, and mother tincture is very common in practice. They use these kinds of medicine for simple insomnia, mental worry, and mild sedative effect, because Passiflora has a mild sedative effect in its mother tincture form. If we talk about a smartphone connection, then there is racing mind from digital overstimulation. So if your mind races too much from that digital overstimulation, Passiflora can pacify that. Advantage is no dependency risk and gentle action, because the mother tincture has no dependency risk, so you can use again if you want. The dosage would be 10 to 15 drops in water before bed. And then if we are talking about Passiflora, we should discuss Bacopa also, not written in this slide, but there is a medicine named Bacopa monnieri. Bacopa is also a medicine which can be used for nerve stimulation, or if we say that nerve is overstimulated, then Bacopa is there. Brahmi is the name in very common terms for us. So Brahmi or Bacopa can be used if the nerve overstimulation takes place. And also we should keep in mind the medicine Valeriana officinalis. Valeriana is the medicine which can be used if overstimulation has taken place. For attention and focus issues, we should have Baraita carb. I don't know, the slides must have misplaced by me, I believe. So you should focus on my voice beside these slides. So I'll say the things which have been written in that slide, because I think I have deleted something or I don't know what. So let's focus on my voice then. So for attention and focus issues, if people are having attention and focus issues due to that phone addiction, then the medicine which should be coming in mind should be Baraita carb. Baraita carb should be there because the indication is difficulty concentrating, memory issues, and social anxiety. Obviously, Baraita is a medicine which has social anxiety issues, which have issues like memory is not serving him, or a problem in concentrating on some topic, and Baraita carb is there. when we get too much indulged into something or too much dependent onto something, then the medicines like calcarea carb, silesia, or baryta obviously should come into mind. And the kind of dependency which we are showing on technology these days, the medicine will get prominent in upcoming future. If we are sitting in 21st century talking about that, then I believe that when we reach into 2030s or 40s, the medicine like silesia or calcarea carb or baryta carb would be more common, or the medicine like magnesium would be very common. The reason behind this is that these kind of medicines are too much dependable on something into their life. If we talk about baryta is totally dependable on decisions towards someone else. And as the AI is growing these days, we ask each and everything from Chat GPT or Perplexity or Claude or Gemini. Obviously, you are getting dependence toward that technology too much into your life. And that is the kind of thing, but that is kind of trait which baryta shows. If you talk about calcarea kind of medicine, then calcarea is also a medicine which is only good in one kind of stuff. If we talk about calcarea carb, then calcarea carb people are usually good in one kind of stuff. You are good in speaking, or you are good in mathematics, or you are good in astronaut kind of business, and not good in other things into your life. If you talk about calcarea, then people like calcarea are, I believe, if such kind of technology would be so much deepening into our life, that will rise, that will go on to peak. Medicines like silesia will go on to peak. The next medicine for attention and focus issues should be Lycopodium clavatum. Lycopodium is a medicine which is lacking confidence, which is having anticipatory anxiety and digestive issues. So obviously, when we get too much indulged into things like phones and into things like videos and these kinds of stuff, then obviously there would be coming time of digestive issues, because you're not eating on time, you're not concentrating on your food, you are not thinking about what you are eating and what you're not eating. So that will cause a problem. The smartphone connection is there, social media comparison, and fear of real world interaction. We should discuss this if you are talking about lycopodium. There is social media comparison. Obviously, lycopodium is a person who satisfies the rubrics like envy and jealousy and wants a dictatorial nature and wants each and everything for himself. He would be good with superiors, bad with inferiors. But if we talk about lycopodium in general, lycopodium is a person who is very competitive. He wants that if there was a ad for some time for Tide, that how is his shirt more white than me. That is made for a person of lycopodium or apis mellifica, that they are so jealous or so competitive that they will compare each and every small stuff. Then we talk about fear of real world interaction. Obviously, if we talk about fear of real world interaction, in reality, lycopodium is not that dominant or not that dictatorial, which he seems on a screen, or which he seems on someone else's views. So if we meet him person to person, he can be awkward or underconfident at first, but then he'll gain pace. The timing would be, obviously symptoms was 4 to 8 p.m. because 4 to 8 p.m. is a normal aggravation times in lycopodium. Then the next would be for compulsive behaviors. This would be the last topic in medication discussion. For compulsive behavior, we should think of 3 medicines: medorinum, tuberculinum, and carcinosin. When we search the rubric addictive behavior in the repertory, then carcinosinum is the only medicine in that rubric. So obviously you should think about medicines like carcinosinum, medorinum, and tuberculinum if you are talking about addiction, if you are talking about addictive behaviors. If we talk about medorinum, then the indication is compulsive behavior, time distortion, and the most important thing, craving for stimulation. Medorinum is a person who is thrill seeker, who always wants changes, who do not satisfy in monotonicity. So if he is a person who is earning 1 lakh today, he can leave that job tomorrow for nothing. He can leave that job and go and become a baba and go and become something else. So he can do things like that. Medorinum is that kind of person. He is in the rubric nature loving, and he's also in the rubric dictatorial. He's also in that rubric that he can curse someone, he can fight with someone. So medorinum is that kind of person. Medorinum is a deflecting personality. If we talk about a smartphone connection, then there is compulsive scrolling and inability to put phone down. The characteristic would be everything in extremes and impatience. So which Medorinum, since I was saying medorinum is not satisfied easily and do not get satisfied with monotonicity. So it will do each and everything in extreme. If he wants to try alcohol, then he'll become an alcoholic and will leave alcohol the very next day if he wants to. So he lives in extremes. Then coming to tuberculinum, tuberculinum is a person who is a what can I say? Who is a person who runs behind adrenaline rush. He is that kind of person. So tuberculinum is a person who is dissatisfied, constant desire for change and restlessness. The smartphone connection is constantly changing apps and never satisfied with content. So whatever apps you will give him, he'll say that, okay, Claude is good, but he'll start working on Claude and after a month, he'll say Gemini is better. Then after a month, he'll say ChatGPT was better. Then after a month, Grok could be better. So he'll not stick on to one, he'll constantly change. So tuberculinum constantly changes. And that is why the remedies like pulsatilla, which is tubercular in nature, the pain constantly changes or the location of pain constantly changes. So that is a tubercular nature of constantly changing. Mental state is destructive tendencies toward relationships due to digital distraction. So these kinds of person have digital distraction like phones or computers in their life, and they can go to the level of destruction also for that digital tendencies. Comparing carcinosinum and tuberculinum would be important here. Carcinosinum is a person who was dominated by his parents and has been told to do something like performing very well in his class and bringing 90% or 96% in his class. But carcinosinum would be happy to do that, much obliged to do that. So if we'll meet carcinosinum the very first time, we can't even believe that he was dominated. But if we'll meet tuberculinum, tuberculinum would be the person who would not be excelling in that things. He would not be bringing 90%. He would be bringing 50 or 56% and would be saying that, oh my God, I do not wanted to do this. My father made me do this and that is why I'm here. So tuberculinum is that kind of person. Okay. Now coming to the treatment protocols. If we talk about treatment protocols, then the acute phase protocol should be from first 2 to 4 weeks. The first 2 to 4 weeks would be primary constitutional remedy based on totality of symptoms. The prime constitutional remedies which you are thinking, you should give that. Sleep support should be there. So the medicines like Coffea or Passiflora or Bacopa monieri can be used. Anxiety management should be there. So if you are thinking the constitutional medicine is arsenicum album or the argentum nitricum, you can give that. Or for acute episode, you can use a medicine which can help in anxiety or that anticipatory issues. Then there should be a detox support. This detox support should not only be Nux Vomica. I have written there Nux Vomica weekly, but you can give detox support with every other remedy which you feel that it is important here. Now, this detox support, I believe from my clinical practice, is very important by intercurrent remedies. If you have a good hold on intercurrent remedies like tuberculinum, medorinum, carcinosinum, sulfur, or medicines like opium also, so you can use here. The detox support should be important and should be used by those intercurrent remedies, specifically called that anti-miasmatic remedies, but can be used here. Then the maintenance phase. This maintenance phase should be from 1 to 6 months. In these 1 to 6 months, the constitutional remedy should be monthly high potency doses. So the constitutional remedy should be given once in a month, but high potency should be used. The miasmatic treatment based on inherited tendencies should be used. So the intercurrent remedies is also here. And the organ support, the liver and nervous system support should be thought of. So if a person is of lycopodium, then you can go for mother tinctures like carduous mar or chelidonium for a supporting kind of function for livers. Lifestyle integration is important. So you have to tell the patient that there is a combination of behavioral interventions and you should try these. The long-term management or 6+ month is deep constitutional treatment with preventive care, and a quarterly follow-up should be there. So every 3 months or every 4 months, you should talk with patient and you should have a quarterly follow-up that you used to use your phone for 24 hours and now how much hours you are using. There should be a kind of counseling like that. Family counseling is very much important. If you are using a topic like smartphone addiction, then family counseling is very much important. You have to talk with the patient's family that your child is suffering from ADHD because he is having a good screen time. And I want to reduce that. So I want your help. I want you to remove his screens or reduce his screen times. And it is very important if you are dealing with a child who is suffering from ADHD or autism spectrum disorders. So that is very important if you are talking about family counseling. Community support is there. If he is a person who do not want to talk to you, then community support should be there, and you should talk with the community too. So if he is appearing with a friend, then you should talk with the friend. If he is appearing with a brother, you should talk with the brother. I can give an example. There was a person who was very much alcoholic and came to my clinic, and I used to talk with his brother a lot. The brother used to help him give the remedies, and the brother used to talk to him that you should avoid this and you should, and he used to give me the symptoms that his father also used to take alcohol, and the grandfather was also used to take the very same. And I took the rubric of hereditary tendencies, because this was the rubric which gives me the medicine sulfur. Sulfur is the medicine which has alcohol addiction from generations. So even grandfather used to take alcohol addiction, and the father also used to take alcohol addiction, and the children is also taking the very same thing. So so we can take the rubrics like these, that the familiar tendency is there. Also, if you are dealing a case like alcoholism, we are going beyond topic, but if you are dealing a case of alcoholism and medicines like syphilinum and sulfur are not working, think of opium also. Opium is also a medicine which usually works in cases of alcoholism or tobacco addiction or things like these. If people do not fear of death and they want to keep these kinds of stimulants in their life, opium is also a medicine which can be thought of. So what is the key takeaway for homeopathic practitioners or for all of us from this session? The first is to recognize this kind of epidemic. The smartphone addiction is a real neurobiological condition affecting 39 to 64% of adolescents in India. And this is very much more than about on this very prestigious platform. Even if we talk about cancer or we talk about tuberculosis or any other disease, 39 to 64% of adolescents is not the number of any disease in India, even not with COVID. So this is a very important topic, and we should recognize this epidemic. We should apply homeopathic principles, because the constitutional remedies like Nux vomica or Arsenicum album or Coffea cruda are based on individualized symptoms, and they can produce real changes. Implement phased treatments. Phased treatment is important. If we see these symptoms as acute or maintenance or long-term protocols, phased symptoms are important, and comprehensive care and lasting results are important. Last, the lifestyle interventions. The lifestyle interventions are important, and we should know about them. The first is sleep hygiene protocol. The sleep hygiene protocols should be there. If we are going to sleep, then before that sleep, screen hours should be 2 hours before bedtime. So if your sleeping time is 10 p.m., then from 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m., try to avoid your phone. Try that the last 1 hour of your sleep should be talking with your family, should be talking to someone important of your family without your phone. Okay. Then the second is blue light filter. After 6 p.m., use blue light filters on your phones or on your laptops or any devices which you are using. Charging station should be outside bedroom. Now, this is very important, because people tend to use chargers just above their bed, and they put the charging socket there and they put their phones there. So try to avoid that, because you want because there was a recent research study which I was studying, and it was like keeping your phone inside your pockets can affect your male health and female health of sexuality, obviously, of sexual health. So the phone radiations is affecting that also, and you want to keep that phone above your head, charging above your head while you are sleeping, and that is not healthy, obviously. So you should avoid that. The room temperature, then there is attention training techniques. Mindfulness based intervention should be there. So the first should be meditation. If you are going to sleep, meditate first. There's a very simple method known as Tratak. Tratak is a very simple method. It is very easily used in yoga. What they do is darken your room, switch off all the lights. On a table at your eye level, put a candle. Light that candle, watch that candle, and listen to a peaceful music. This procedure is known as Tratak, and Tratak is very good for increasing your concentration. So if you do this practice for 15 minutes or for 10 minutes before your sleep, that will firstly increase your concentration. it says in yoga or meditation that it charges your third eye. Third eye is used for concentration. Third eye is used for focusing on a topic. So if you want to make your concentration or increase your concentration, then try to do things like tratak or try to do things like meditation. Those are important in your life. Then breath awareness practice is important. If you are treating a person who is suffering from anxiety, then try to teach him box breathing. Try to teach him pranayam. Those are important. Try to teach him that he should try box breathing. Box breathing is a very important phenomenon and he should learn that. Then there is body scan meditation and walking meditation. Now, walking meditation is what you have to walk on grass barefoot. That is a grounding technique, and grounding technique does what? It calms your nerves. It soothes your nerve. The last two things which I would tell you to do is, first is Abhyangara. Abhyangara is what? You have to massage yourself with oils, with different kinds of oils. So any oil which you feel soothes you, for calming you, use that to massage yourself. The second would be do walking, but not all the times. But if your job is of sitting, because in today's time it is very common that people sit on their desk or on their tables for 8 hours or 9 hours. It is very problematic. Your bones and your muscles are getting stiff. Your nerves are getting stiff. So if you are sitting constantly for 45 minutes or for 1 hour, stand up, walk in your premises for 15 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes, whatever time allows. Walk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes around your premises. Being homeopaths, our clinic are such a spacious that we can walk around that. So walk for 10 minutes, walk for 15 minutes, then come back, sit on your chair and do your work again. Okay. And for the neck stiffness thing, because we are sitting constantly on chair, try to just raise your hands like this and putting it back, and then raising hand again and putting it back. So what that will do, that will try to calm down your shoulder stiffness and try to calm that cervical stiffness, which we all get because constantly sitting is not an easy job. So try to do that. Try to move your neck more, try to move your shoulders more. That will help you. I think that was enough for today. And by this, I'll stop sharing my screen. If we have any question or feedback, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manish. Every time you are selecting a good topic, that is very important for nowadays. And thank you so much. If you have any questions, doctors, please put your question here. Please raise your hands and ask your questions here. If you don't have questions, you can discuss. Lakshmi, Dr. Lakshmi, thank you so much. You can speak. Thank you, sir. Seminar was great.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Thank you very much. And I'm glad that you find it helpful.
Dr. Danesh?
Yes, Dr. Manish, as usually, you came with an excellent subject and proved that homeopathy can do such things in those conditions. And not only that, what are the things to be done, what are the things not to be done while managing a patient. That's a very important aspect as far as treatment is concerned. The management of the patient is very, very important when one get a patient. So, particularly the last session, as you why people having this so much of problem by simply sitting for a long time, how it affect your body, and what are the things that you need to change, and all those things. Anyway, congratulations. Hope you can do excellent session in the coming edition of our webinars also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And everyone know that we are celebrating our 5th anniversary of fifth year of IFPH. I would like to see all of you there. We'll meet together and celebrate together. So please come and participate in to make that event as a big event. Actually, we all are meeting on a Zoom platform and will meet directly in the event. Please come to Cochin and let us know who all are coming to the event. Thank you so much, everyone. And if you have any questions, you can ask. I think, no, really seminar, you are getting many appreciation. Dr. Ram Parvesh, sir, you can ask.
Thank you, Dr. Anjani. Long time webinar is not. Congratulations, Dr. Manish Azad.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice, excellent session and rare presentation. A smartphone addiction. Really, very nice presentation. Anxiety and sleepiness and mathematic ground the addiction of a smartphone, medorinum, carcinogen, tuberculum. Really, very, very thanks, Dr. Manish
Thank you,
Singh.
sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And Dr. Manish, when you are treating these cases with these medicines, how long you are getting the result? How long it will take to cure?
Ma'am, since the things are like addiction, obviously I can't claim that it will get treated or cured in a month or 3 months or 6 months. Obviously, it will take a time like a year or 2 year, obviously. And with constant counseling and with constant family counseling and friends counseling, these are important kind of perspectives if we are talking about curing a case. Because even if we don't talk about a smartphone addiction, which is a very common and prominent thing these days, if we are talking about things like tobacco addiction or alcohol addiction, because they are very similar to dopamine dysregulation. If you are talking about that, even a small stimulation like a conversation, having a heated conversation with his friends can stimulate that alcohol back, can stimulate that tobacco back. So obviously you have to counsel him time to time throughout the time. For the time he is with you, you have to counsel him regularly and even talk to his family and each and everyone. That will help. So if you're talking about a time phase, obviously it will take a long time, like a year or a 2 year for curing that case permanently.
So it will take 1 year to cure, but even though after few session and after a few doses of medicine, they are getting
yeah, you will see changes. You will see changes. Just let's take an example. The case of alcohol addiction, which I was discussing about, it has shown a tremendous effect after 3 months only. Okay, medicine sulfur was there and it affected very well. Patient which do not wanted to leave alcohol was a person who left alcohol for 21 days after 3 months. Okay, so it changed tremendously. Things like these happens in homeopathy, and I think it happens only in homeopathy, but it takes time and it takes a lot of hefty counseling. If we talk about patients or if we talk about family, we have to talk to them long and long. That takes time.
Thank you so much. Anyway, I'm appreciating your your interest and your hard work. Thank you, Dr. Manish, for taking classes. Thank you for everything, for your hosting, for your participation, everything. And now we are moving to Malayalam session. It is a time for the Malayalam session. Dr. Danesh, are you hosting the Malayalam session?
No, Dr. Shaila. Dr. P. Shaila.
I have. Okay, I'm inviting Dr. Shaila for moderating Malayalam session. Doctor, you're welcome. And
no. Today the Malayalam session is moderating by Dr. Mariamma.
Oh, okay. I'm inviting Dr. Mariamma for moderating Malayalam session. Doctor, you're welcome. She joined. Okay, doctor.